大鼠吃，咻咻咻。Oh, here's the cat. Is he clawing you? He's climbing. Smells so smoky and delicious.
Internet is the same as before, it's Pewternet.
Beautiful day. Here's a painful kick in the throat that nobody wants to hear. I said it's $8,000 to rewire the electricity for our whole house. It's not. We had an electrician come in, a proper electrician, who works with that other company, and they showed us all the plans. How many breeds of birds out here? There's hundreds. Makes me smile. I heard this continuous story from multiple people who renovate their homes because they're old farmhouses and they're also fellow farmers. Every time they would take out one layer, they would find another layer of painstaking work. And it was to the point that they did 3 layers. They would peel back three layers of work. And that's like, it took them 7 months to do the whole property for our house. To move it and upgrade everything to be contemporary times, not even anything fancy or futuristic, to be up to date and upgrade our electrical system will be about $20,000. That's not even getting into the amount that the generator costs, which is essentially another $20,000. So it's like a Generac 2W, I think. I don't mind. We're going to save for the generator later, but we're definitely going to get the wiring started so that we can get the actual construction of the house started. I don't want to do things in stages. I want to do it all at once, so when they do the wiring in a couple days, 5 days later or 3 days later, I want drywall people to come in and do all the drywall. Then I want the wallpaper done, bathroom and kitchen started all at the same time. If it's done in 2 days, hopefully less, then we can go back to showering. That's one thing. And I noticed a lot of people here are farmers on the side because first off, they don't want to pay for groceries also, which is crazy. And the things that they put in groceries is crazy. And then on top of that, a lot of people do it for years and years simply because they love it, which I absolutely love hearing because I love it here. See the bird? That bird sounds like a rattlesnake. It's incredible here, and man, I never want to move. Hello, gorgeous. I woke up many hours ago while it was dark, probably 5-ish or a little bit before 5. And I really like this farmer schedule. And there are people who wake up much earlier than I do, namely my husband. And I want to get to the point where I wake up at 4:30, run, shower, meditate, pray, get the day started, do a little bit of cleaning here and there, make my husband a coffee by the time he gets up, and then do some work, and then head to the office. Multiple things I want to share with you. Last night, yesterday, I got a job offer with this incredible company, a small family-owned business that deals aircraft. So they do everything from sales to brokerage. I'm also going to be working on the side teaching etiquette still. There are multiple things that I have to do first to fix up my home to make it better suited for having students over in etiquette. I mean, just look around. It's see how dark it is right here. We have to fix the ceiling. There's so much. I'm going to get into that in a bit. Last night I did not want to film because I just wanted to enjoy time with Mr. Dixon. Watched 30 Rock. It was really funny. We were laughing at jokes. We've seen the show multiple times. For this job offer, I was getting depressed because I thought they wanted me. They told me, okay, we'll give you the job offer tomorrow. It didn't arrive, and essentially a week passed. And they said, hey, you didn't respond. You were so excited to start. What happened? Did you not receive the offer? And I said, oh, I checked my spam and my phone calls. They said, oh, it was supposed to be sent to you early this week. And I thought, oh my gosh, I was getting down on myself, and my skin was going bad and my mood was going sour. It was just a misunderstanding. And I start in middle of August, which is really exciting because on top of having this job and getting to go to the exciting things to showcase the planes, I get to work on my pilot's license. So all of our dreams are coming much faster, 2 years earlier, 2 years in advance. I thought that it was going to be 2 years when we got the new Range Rover, when we got the new truck for the farm, when I can start working on my pilot's license. But it looks like it's moved up, and getting a piano is also moving up. So I'm gonna start off with what I call the starter piano versus getting the really nice piano. So the really nice piano is a Mason & Hamlin. For those of you who don't know, it's like the Bentley of pianos. Not a Steinway, not a Wurlitzer, not a Yamaha, Mason & Hamlin. They get really crazy, especially the different models that you get. And I have one in in Los Angeles in the Hollywood Hills estate. You've probably seen it in the background in certain videos. And a lot of my old vlogs, you'll see it's a Mason Hamlin. I was thinking of getting one wholesale, but that was my whole life for a very long time. I think I'm going to purchase that much later because I want to get a plane first. But so the first piano I'm going to get is going to be a Yamaha. It's going to be a baby grand. My husband was saying, why do you want to get such a nice piano? You don't want it to get scratched, or if a kid has a rattle and scratches it up. And I said, well, yeah, that's exactly what I want. I want the kids to scratch it up. I want the kids to beat it up. A piano is to be used, a piano is to be loved, a piano is to be restrung many times and to have many lives. And I plan on buying multiple pianos, especially if more than one kid wants to play the piano, and then they can inherit that piano when they move into their house. I'm going to buy them a property. It doesn't necessarily have to be a property where they live. I'm going to give them the piano no matter what. That's my plan. In the new house, we're going to move the piano from the sitting room into the music study. I'm going to build a study. There's going to be doors in that can half the room so that you can practice alone. When I was a kid practicing piano, it was very daunting to have another person in the room, especially an adult, because I wanted to make sure it was perfect, where I couldn't be as creative. Where when I'm alone playing piano, I can be more creative. I can practice all these weird jazz things. Things sound ugly and not be afraid. So I don't want anything holding the kids back if they're practicing by themselves. There will be multiple rooms with all these instruments because I grew up in every single room. There was an instrument hanging on the wall, piano was open, and guitar was my life for a very long time. And we'd have bass guitars up, come home to my dad banging on the congas all day long, little dance session. He would play the soprano sax. We grew up in a Latino neighborhood in Southern California in Anaheim, for those of you who know. The ice cream trucks would play like Suavemente by Elvis Crespo. Dad would get up during lunch and just start dancing salsa. I think that it's important to have a lot of music and whimsy in your house, especially when you're raising children. I want our things to look beat up. I want our things to look used. I want our house to look like kids live there, things to be scratched up. Yes, they're nice. It might be mahogany. There's some scratches from when my daughter was waving her saxophone case around. I want it to be a comfortable, livable place that's not super uptight. My mom's friends would have guest towel energy, where there was one room in the house that was a sitting room that they would only invite the most strangest of guests. So the people that they did not know, these absolute strangers who would come to their house and sell them something. But none of the family members were allowed to step in that room. You had to take your shoes off, couldn't even go barefoot. You had to wear slippers when you go in that one room. So I thought it was really weird. Thank goodness we didn't have that. It was a little bit more lived in my house. But I always thought that was weird. So I want the opposite of that. I'm really excited. I can't wait to share this journey with you, the pilot license and just the changing of this house. But you'll see a bit more of that as time goes on, especially in the next 6 months. I don't want to show what influencers show. I'm not an influencer. If anything, I'm a blogger. I like to actually blog and write blog posts, 3,000 word blog posts that you'll sit there for 5-minute reads for my family who's abroad. Other people are influencers where they're showing you a product. I'm not doing that. I just show you what I absolutely love and use. I don't like to show what influencers show where, oh, here's the glamorous part of my life that I'm wearing a $3,000 dress. I also like to show you how I got that $3,000 dress, if I do get a $3,000 dress. Here's what my house looks like pre-renovation. So I don't think that we should hide it. I think we should normalize working hard, working smart, being creative, being resourceful with what we have. So I like to show you the beautiful and I like to show you the glamorous, but I also like to show you, I purchased this really old farmhouse. I love this farmhouse. It's incredible. At the end of the day, I'm so grateful to have this roof over my head. It is on paradise. This is how I solved how to host. I'm only gonna host in summer for now, and I'm only gonna host outside. The best part of this manor is actually being outside. So why not use that? Why coop someone up in a tiny farmhouse that they might not be comfortable in with the renovations happening? I'm gonna get a pergola seating. I'm gonna get a huge table. We can seat up to 22 people if we want. Games like badminton, pickleball, tennis. I'm gonna have a football goal, croquet. I'm going to have giant human-sized chess. I have my greenhouse, but I'm gonna get a really big greenhouse. Apparently it's 20 feet, the one I'm looking at. And then I'm also going to create a stairway going down on the side of the hill. I'm going to create a garden that is not too manicured so that kids can play, do cartwheels. If you have any glamorous, luxurious ideas that you want me to add to hosting outdoors that would make things fabulous, aside from the grill, I was also thinking about a bar that is a cart that you can move outside that is somewhat indestructible, and all this servingware that is silver and alloy metal and pewter so that it doesn't get destroyed if someone knocks it on the floor, say for example a pitcher. I don't want to have a crystal pitcher outside. I need to make the compost glamorous somehow. So much good coming this year. I'm already planning the Christmas presents too. My first paycheck is going to go to New York and Christmas presents. I'm probably going to end up getting Christmas presents in New York. It's going to be a really fast trip, so I have to go shopping really fast, and I will try to film as much of it as possible. These are the books I plan to read this week and finish all of them cover to cover. Patrick Bet-David, I watch a lot of his podcasts, I like his business ideas. Joel Salatin, we have several of his books so far. This is about cattle farming, all about permaculture and naturalism. Some farmers that I know here use his methods. He has an incredible farm in Virginia, I think, where you can go to his farm 365 days a year to see how they treat the animals, how they process their food properly. This is Set for Life by Scott Trench. Dominate, Life, Money, and the American Dream. I have a lot of finance books because of Mr. Dixon. Marriage really kicks your butt and propels you into action when it comes to someone else depending on you. It's like you have to act now. You can't just talk about all the things you know, you actually have to apply them. Because if you want to have a family, if you want to have one house one day, this is a great book. The Automatic Millionaire Homeowner. I'm not particularly worried about being a millionaire overnight. I just want to make sure that our properties are we're getting the most bang for our buck when we do purchase even more properties, because we are investing currently in properties, and this is our first home that we are living in together as our family home, and one that we want to die in. Not die in, I mean grow old in. This is Tax Strategies this is really good. My mother was a CPA, or excuse me, she was an accountant, and she was actually above CPA. She was my dad would say she's the accountant of accountants. I think it's important to understand tax strategies because tax codes in any country will literally tell you how to get rich. Not necessarily how to get rich quick overnight, but how to take care of yourselves. You are keeping what you are actually worth, what you actually worked for. This is the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin. Fantastic gentleman. He was very organized and was very brilliant, and my husband raved about this book, and he applies his journal. He has like a special Benjamin Franklin journal he uses to organize his life that says, what are the things I'm doing? What are the things I'm not doing? How do I become more efficient and effective by actually doing the things I don't want to do? And this is what every real estate investor needs to know about cash flow. I think it's important to know about how to make cash as opposed with your investments, because investing simply is, in simple words, making money or having your money make money without you having to put more money in. I'm obsessed with finance books right now because I am taking my income and putting 90% away, spending 10% on whatever I want. 50% goes to investments, 90% goes to different property investments. This one is our current property investment, and then the 10% is going out and clubs and sports. Just started reading this book. Mr. Dixon said you have 1 month before your work starts, so you should read this if you want to be as productive as possible.